History is full of mysteries that refuse to die. Civilizations vanish without a trace, killers leave their crimes unsolved, fortunes disappear into thin air, and ancient monuments hide secrets we still can't explain. These stories are not legends, they are real, and they continue to haunt us today. Tonight, you will discover 4 of the greatest enigmas humanity has ever faced: the sudden disappearance of the Mayan civilization, the true face of Jack the Ripper, the fate of D.B. Cooper, the man who hijacked a plane and vanished with millions, and the Great Sphinx of Egypt, which may still be hiding a secret chamber beneath its paws. Let's begin. The Mayan civilization was one of the most advanced of the ancient world. For centuries, they dominated large parts of Central America with advanced knowledge that still astonishes modern scholars. They were mathematicians, astronomers, and master builders. Their calendar was so precise that it could predict solar and lunar eclipses centuries in advance, without telescopes or computers. They raised monumental cities like Tikal and Chichen Itza, filled with towering pyramids and elaborate temples that continue to challenge modern engineering. Yet, by the 9th century, something happened, and the great Mayan cities were suddenly abandoned. Millions of people abandoned these thriving cities. Entire urban centers were swallowed by the jungle. The question remains, why? Some historians point to devastating civil wars, others to long droughts that destroyed agriculture, and still others to epidemics that may have wiped out whole populations. And then there are those who believe something even more mysterious happened, a cultural collapse so sudden and so total that it left no clear explanation. Why would an entire civilization collapse so mysteriously? None of these fully explain how millions of people simply disappeared, leaving behind temples, pyramids, and coded writing still being deciphered today. To this day, the Mayan collapse remains one of history's most haunting mysteries. A reminder that even the mightiest empires can vanish, and no one truly knows how could such a powerful, advanced civilization vanish into the shadows of history. In another corner of history, shrouded in fog and blood, we find the infamous case of a killer who became a legend. London, 1888. The fog, the gas lamps. Between August and November of 1888, the streets of London's East End became the hunting ground of Jack the Ripper. A killer who terrified an entire city. Jack targeted women in Whitechapel, committing brutal murders that shocked Victorian society. He murdered at least 5 women, though some believe the number was far higher. His killing weren't random acts of violence, they carried a chilling precision. Victims were mutilated in ways that suggested anatomical knowledge, leading many to suspect he was either a doctor or a butcher. The police launched one of the largest investigations of the 19th century, yet the killer always stayed one step ahead. Hundreds of letters were sent to the authorities claiming to be from Jack himself. Most were hoaxes, but a few are still debated by experts today. Over the decades, the list of suspects has grown into the hundreds, ranging from local workers to members of British royalty. Even with modern DNA analysis, no definitive answer has been found. More than 130 years later, Jack the Ripper remains a ghost, a name that continues to echo as one of the darkest mysteries in criminal history. His identity was never revealed. Was he a doctor? A member of the royal family? Or simply an ordinary man who slipped through the cracks of history? Each theory only deepens the mystery. More than a century later, Jack the Ripper remains faceless. A shadow that reminds us, some crimes will forever escape justice. Fast forward to the 20th century, November 24, 1971. And another case would leave investigators chasing a phantom, the mystery of a man calling himself Dan Cooper. The day before Thanksgiving, a man boarded a flight in Portland, Oregon. He was polite, calm, and well-dressed. But midway through the flight, he handed a note to a flight attendant that simply read, "I have a bomb." He demanded $200,000 in cash and 4 parachutes. After the money was delivered in Seattle, Cooper released the passengers but kept the crew on board. Soon after, in the dead of night and during a raging storm, he opened the rear stairs of the plane and then, somewhere over the forests of Washington, he jumped into the night sky. He was never seen again. For decades, the FBI searched rivers, forests, and mountains. In 1980, a young boy discovered bundles of Cooper's ransom money buried on a riverbank near Portland. But there was still no sign of the man himself. Did he die in the fall, his body lost to the wilderness? Or did he survive and quietly disappear into a new life, forever outsmarting the FBI? The FBI closed the case in 2016, but the mystery remains one of the greatest unsolved crimes in American history. To this day, D.B. Cooper is the only person in U.S. history to successfully hijack an airplane and get away with it. And finally, we turn to Egypt in the sands of Giza, where the Great Sphinx sits silently, staring into eternity. One of the world's most iconic monuments, for centuries it has guarded the pyramids, its true purpose is still unknown. No one can say certainly who built it, or even when it was carved. Most Egyptologists believe it dates back more than 4,500 years, but some geologists point to erosion patterns that suggest it could be thousands of years older. What makes the Sphinx even more intriguing are the legends of hidden chambers beneath it. Ancient texts speak of secret archives, perhaps even containing the lost knowledge of Atlantis. In recent years, scientists using ground-penetrating radar have detected unusual cavities and tunnels beneath the statue and even bigger structures beneath the pyramids. Still, the Egyptian authorities restrict further exploration, fueling endless speculation. Could the Sphinx be a gateway to a hidden archive of ancient wisdom? Or is it simply the product of erosion and time? Until the truth is revealed, the Sphinx will continue to watch silently, keeping its secrets buried in the desert sands. Could there be scrolls, artifacts, or even an entire forgotten chamber of history sealed away under the Sphinx? Or is it simply empty space, tempting us with mysteries that will never be solved? Civilizations that vanish, killers without a face, thieves who disappear into the night, and monuments that may still be hiding the past. These mysteries are not just stories, they are reminders of how much we still don't know. Which of these mysteries do you think will be solved first? Or perhaps, some truths are never meant to be discovered. Goodbye.